After 12 grueling races across 5 weeks, the F4 UAE Championship is ready to be concluded, and as the paddock returns to the Dubai Autodrome, it's still undecided as to who could clinch the title, with Keanu Al-Azari, Freddie Slater and Kiya Nakamura-Berta very close in the standings, and each with an equal chance of claiming the crown. Race 1 would see Kiya Nakamura-Berta snatch the lead from pole position, allowing his rivals Slater and Al-Azari to scrap amongst themselves for the lower paying points. The end-of-term atmosphere meant that a few more risks were taken as drivers tried to storm into a winning scenario. But it was actually Rashid Al Daheri and Alex Powell, rank outsiders in the championship race, that gave Nakamura-Berta the toughest pressures in the duration of the event. Try as they might, they couldn't claim the prize, and as Saturday wrapped, and with 2 more races left in the season, Kiya Nakamura-Berta was suddenly looking like a potential champion, having turned his huge deficit into a small one. And the next race would be a reverse grid encounter, so a few points could mean the difference between defeat and victory. The final day of racing would begin with a reverse grid battle, and despite Jovan David's epic drive to 12th in yesterday's race, a penalty cruelly robbed him of pole position, which went instead to Luca Samalisto. Enzo Deligny would storm into the lead at the first corner, ahead of Thomas Stolchamanis, and from then on, it was a race of control and discipline. But Keanu Al-Azari and Freddie Slater were contesting decent points, as Slater worked his way up to P5, and Al-Azari was dueling with Deegan Fairclough for the final podium spot. Deligny and Stolchamanis were unchallenged up front, so a podium would make or break the championship for Yazheat's Keanu Al-Azari. He and Fairclough battled valiantly for the podium all race long, but Slater claimed 4th from Al-Azari on the final bend of the final lap, behind the podium trio, which would prove crucial later that day. For Deligny, Stolchamanis and Fairclough, it was joy, and deservedly so. But as the final race approached, who would be champion? And so to the final contest of the F4 UAE Championship 2024. Either Keanu Al-Azari, Freddie Slater or Kiya Nakamura-Berta would be champion, and it would be the latter on pole. But Rashid Al Daheri tore up the script and threw it in the trash as he stole the lead into the first corner. An early accident involving Thomas Stolchamanis would bring out the red flags, and after a half-hour delay, the battle resumed. Nakamura-Berta ran ahead of Slater, but he needed to take back the lead to become champion, and Al-Azari was passing cars like crazy to take back control of the title fight. Sadly for him, he ran out of time to make a bigger impact, and would have to settle for 3rd. Whilst up front, Rashid Al Daheri soaked up the pressure and won a thrilling encounter. Whilst in 3rd position behind Nakamura-Berta, Freddie Slater had done enough to secure his first F4 title, but it may not be his last. With the contenders separated at the end of the season by just 8 points, it demonstrates how competitive the F4 UAE Championship has really become.